Hello student, this is Poonam Dandare, Assistant Professor of Department of Information Technology of Tulsiramji Gaikwad Patil College of Engineering and Technology, Nagpur. In this session, we will study the introduction of theory of computation, that is the talk. So first of all, we will see the talk, that is the theory of computation. So theory of computation is also known as automata theory, which deals with the logic of computation with respect to simple machine referred to as a automata. So automata enables the scientist, that is the scientific name, that is the this name is basically generate from the scientist, that is the automata. So automata enables the scientist to understand how machine compute the functions and solve problems. The main motivation behind developing automata theory was to develop method to describe and analyze the dynamic behavior of discrete systems. Automata is originated from the word automaton, which is closely related to automations. Now let's understand the basic terminology which are important and frequently used in a theory of computations. So first is the string. That is, a string is a finite sequence of symbols selected from some alphabet. It is generally denoted as W, that is the small w. We can denote this string by using the letter, that is the W. For example, for alphabet, that is the summation. Summation gives the input symbol, that is the set of a finite set of a input symbols. So summation denotes the input symbols. So in talk we use the generally 0 and 1 as the input symbol, or small a comma b this is the input symbol. So we denote this string by using the W letter. So W equals to, that is the string which formed by using 0 1 is known as the string. So W equals to 0 1 0 1 0 1 is a string. Basically, if summation equals to A and B, various strings can be generated from summations R, that is like that AB, AA, AAA, BB, BBB, BA, ABA and so on. These are the various strings which we generate from the inputs, that is A and B. So if we know the length of strings, so length of strings is denoted as mod of W, and it is defined as the number of positions for the symbols in the string. For example, if W equals to 0 1 0, so number of string, that is the mod of W equals to 3. So string is a finite sequence of symbols from some alphabets. This is all about the string. Next is the empty string. So empty string means the empty string is the string with zero occurrence of symbols. That is, empty string is the string with zero occurrence of symbol, and it is represented by epsilon or lambda. This is the empty string, means that is the string doesn't contain any input symbol, it just contains the 0, that is the null value. So this is known as the empty string. Next is the alphabets. So theory of computation is entirely based on symbols. Alphabets are a finite set of symbols. It is denoted by summation. These symbols are generally letters and digit. You can use in the form of input by letters or by using the digit. Alphabets are defined as a finite set of symbols. Examples, for example, that is summation equals to 0 1 is an alphabet of binary digit. Summation equals to A, B, C, D up to Z is an alphabet. So this is all about the input symbols. Next is the language. A language is a collection of appropriate string. A language which is formed over summation can be finite or infinite. There are two types of language. First is the finite, second is the infinite. So there are the two sets. One is that is the L1 which contains the finite language, and second is the L2 which contains the infinite language. So L1, that is the set of strings of length 2. If I give the set of strings of length 2, and it can be found by the input symbol, that is A and B. So there are the possible ways, that is the AA, BB, BA and BB. These are the possible way which the set of string of length is 2. This is known as the finite language. And infinite language, this is that is the set of all strings start with A. So there are the infinite ways you have to draw or you have to find the strings. So this is known as the infinite language. Next is the concatenations of strings. Let W1 and W2 be two strings. Then W1, W2 denotes their concatenation W. The concatenation is formed by making a copy of W1 and followed by a copy of W2. That is concatenation means that is the merging of two strings. And we can add the two strings. So for example, if W1 contain XYZ and W2 contain UVW, then the concatenations of W1 and W2, we give W, that is the XYZ plus UVW. So the string will give that is the XYZ UVW. So this is the concatenations of string. Next is the concatenations of languages. If L1 and L2 are two languages, then concatenations can be defined as L equals to L1 dot L2. Concatenations have these symbols, that is the dot operator, where L equals to L contain the language, that is the W equals to XY, where X belongs to L1 and Y belongs to L2. It means that all the strings in the language L are concatenations of strings of language L1 and L2. So this is the concatenation of language. Next is the transition diagram. This is the most important topic or most important notation in the theory of computation. A transition diagram or state transition diagram is a directed graph which can be constructed as follows. There is a node for each state in Q which is represented by this circle. There is a directed edge from node Q to node P labeled A if delta gives, that is delta gives from state Q for the input A, it goes to the state P. In the start state, there is an arrow with no source. Accepting states or final states are indicating by a double circle. So these are some notation that are used in a transition diagram. So if the state, we have to draw a single state, we have to draw a circle, and at this inside the circle we have to write the state number. Then transition from one state to another, we can draw the transition by using the arrow, that is the edged arrow. Next is the start state. If the initial state is a start state, we have to follow the arrow. Or if the state is a final state, so you have to give the double circle. So this is the some notation that are used in a transition diagram. So this is the all about the notation. Now we have to jump the basic and most important part, that is the finite automata. So finite automata, they are the devices that accept the generated language. Finite automata accept the generated language. They take as an input a string and produce the output as S. S means accepted, or no, that no means rejected. Means finite automata accept the input as a string and they produce the output in a two ways. First is the accepted or rejected. That means string will be accepted or rejected. It depends on the machine. So this makes them different from the transducer, which take as a input a string and generates another string. In the future tutorial we are going to discuss about various automata. These machines are very similar to central processing unit of a computer, but absence of memory makes them more restricted. Computers are deterministics. They can only be in a one state at a given moment. Finite automata can be either deterministics or non-deterministics. Finite automata we can generally use the notation that is FA, that is a capital FA. Finite automata has the two types. First is the deterministic finite automata and second is the non-deterministic finite automata. A finite automata consists of three components: an input tape, a reading head and a finite control system. Reading head heads the input from the input tape and the finite control system decides the action. The finite control system begins at the initial state and may or may not change the state on the given input. If after reading the input string the machine winds up in the some one of the final state, the input string is considered except else it is rejected. So this is the finite automata model. We have the three types, that is the first is the input tape, then tape reader and this is finite control. A finite automata is called finite because there are finite number of states it can exist in, and also the number of possible input symbols are also finite. The change of state is governed by the input. So this is all about the finite automata. Next, that is the finite automata can be represented by input tape and finite control. Input tape. So what do you mean by input tape? It is a linear tape having some number of cells. Each input symbol is placed in each cell. I just show the diagram. In each block we have the one alphabet or one digit. It denotes the input tape. Finite control, that a finite control decides the next state on receiving particular inputs from input tape. The tape reader reads the cell one by one from left to right, and at a time only one input symbol is read. So this is the finite control. Next, finite automata have the following features. First is the input, second is the output, third is the state of automata, fourth is the state relation, fifth is the output relation. These are the some features of finite automata. A finite automata is a collection of 5 tuples. Generally, finite automata consist of 5 tuples. These are the follows. First is the Q, that is capital Q. Capital Q, summation, delta, Q0 and F. So capital Q is a finite set of states. Summation is the finite set of input symbols. Q0 is the initial state. F is the final state and delta is the transition function. So this is the 5 tuples which are used to generate the finite automata. So finite automata has the two types. First is the deterministic finite automata and second is the non-deterministic finite automata. So we have see the DFA, that is the deterministic finite automata. Deterministic finite automata also contain the 5 tuples which we are used in a finite automata. So Q, summation, delta, Q0 and F. So Q, capital Q is the set of all states. Summation is the set of input symbols. Q0 is the initial state. F is the final state. And delta is the transition function defined as delta defined as Q into summation. It gives Q. So deterministic finite automata, for a particular input character, the machine goes to one state only. A transition function is defined on every state for every input symbol. Also in DFA, null move is not allowed. In DFA, there is a no empty string or no null character. In DFA cannot change state without any input character. For example, below DFA with 0 and 1 as the input accept all strings ending with 0. So this is the general architecture or general machine we have designed for the that strings ending with 0. So this is the DFA for the particular string. one important thing to note that there can be many possible DFAs for the pattern. A DFA with minimum number of states is generally preferred. In DFA we can just allowed, that is the which DFA will contain the minimum number of states. Second is the non-deterministic finite automata, that is the NFA. NFA is similar to DFA except following additional features. Null move is allowed. In DFA there is a no null value is allowed or no empty string is allowed, but in NFA we allowed a null move or empty string. It can move forward within reading symbols. Ability to transmit to any number of states for a particular input. However, these above features don't add any power to NFA. So NFA also consists of 5 tuples: Q, summation, delta, Q0 and F, which we are used in a DFA. These are the same we are used in a NFA. So DFA, that is NFA, that is the one important thing to note in NFA, if any path for an input string leads to final state, then the input string accept. For example, in above NFA, there are multiple paths for input string 0, 0. Since one of the path leads to final state, 0, 0 is accepted by above NFA. So there is a small difference between in DFA and NFA. We have generally draw or accept the machine by using the DFA. This is the transition table. That is the next topic is the transition table. The transition table is basically a tabular representation of the transition function. It takes 2 arguments, a state and a symbol, and return a state, the next state. A transition table is represented by the following things. Columns correspond to input symbols, rows correspond to states, entries correspond to next state. The start state is denoted by an arrow with no source. The accept state is denoted by a star. This is the transition table for the above diagram. So there are the 3 columns, that is the first present state, next state for input 0, next state for input 1. In diagram C, that is the present state, that is the Q0, Q1 and Q2. So Q0 is the initial state and Q2 is the final state. So in final state we have to give the star. That means it denotes this is the final state. So Q0, from the state Q0 it goes to Q1 for the input 0. So Q0 for the state Q0 for the input 0, it goes to Q1. Then state Q0 goes to Q2 for the input 1. State Q1 goes to Q0 for the input 0. Q1 goes to state Q2 for the input 1. Q2 goes to state, that is the it goes to self for the input 0 and for the input 1. So this is all about the transition table. So thank you.